Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast, your weekly dose of many discussions and opinions, a show where we get comfortable being uncomfortable. And remember, no topic is off limits. Now let's talk about it. And welcome back, guys, to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Misty, and we are back finally. It's definitely been a while. I have been super duper busy trying to gather my life, but it's all good. I definitely wanted to have a little bit of an introduction for you guys because I'm here and it's only fair to give you guys just like the run through of what's up and what's been going on. But it's still gonna be a quick Solita episode, nothing too crazy, nothing too long. I just wanted to say hi and come back on this mic. I missed y'all so much. I promise I'm gonna do better. I promise. But all right, here we go. Here we are. So I wanted to go through a quick list of what this Solita episode is going to look like. And so I want to just kick it off, guys. This is episode 108, which means last week's episode 107. Well, not last week's. Who am I kidding? At the beginning of the month, I think, I dropped episode 107. It was before the first day of my first new job title. Salary. No, I'm joking. I'm not, but I am. Just kidding. But I've just been adjusting to my new life. Round of applause to Misty, because in my career that I've worked so hard in, I am finally at a level that I am super duper proud of. 6-figure check. And I'm just grateful. I'm just fucking grateful for something like this. And I'm going to be very transparent as to why a little later in the episode. But one of the things I want to kick it off with, y'all, oh my God, if alignment is not so real, let me put it into perspective for you guys. From the very beginning, especially my loyal listeners, shout out to you guys and welcome to all the new listeners. I see you through them downloads. You guys know I have a thing for the number 7, lucky number 7. Whether it's me, whether it's of the person who I absolutely love, my son, this baby right here, Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. Number 7 is there. Number 7 lives one way or another. It outstands to me, it outshines, and it means everything to me. This pod dropped on March 17. My son was born in 2007. My birthday is 11/18. Y'all who know how to do the math. Yeah. Anyway, so imagine me showing episode 107. And lo and behold, I show up to my first day of work and my office has the number 7 in it. And for me to see that, I know it sounds like something probably so stupid and so small, but it's not. It's not. To me, it's not. It means something. It means so much. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful that things happened the way that it did. I honestly have no regrets, not even when the grass was not greener on the other side. It just was so much that I went through. You know what? It's not that, it was worth all the stress and all the pain. No, it's just, this is how my story was supposed to be. This is just how it was meant to be. And I'm just grateful for it. So I want to dive right in. One of the things I definitely want to put into perspective, a concept that I've definitely heard in the past, and of course, in the times of social media, we hear it all the time. This whole thing was securing the bag. And this became very reflective to me in the last couple of weeks. Because while I do feel that I've secured the bag, y'all, shout out to me, a wise person told me, passion brings you here every day to show up and do the work, but money pays your bills. So let's talk numbers. And when we think about that phrase right there, someone told me this at some point in my life. I thought to myself, well, you know what? They can offer me the numbers that I want. I can make my requests. I can make my asking price, right? But realistically, I can do a lot more for myself when it comes to that. When it comes to when we talk numbers, what does that look like for my future? What does that look like for my son's future, my family, right? And how does that lead to my fulfillment, right? How does that look to me when I'm talking about securing the bag? Is it enough to just secure the bag? And the answer is no. I realized in that moment what else I was securing when I took an opportunity like this, right? And I realized that this was a securing of the bag for my mental, my spirit, and my confidence, y'all. I didn't even realize how debilitated my confidence was. I didn't even realize how debilitated my spirit was and how, cloudy my mental was. Like, there was just so much going on. I did not realize everything else. And so I am here to tell you all that it's not just about securing that bag. Oh, that beautiful bag with all them green dollar bills. Yeah, it's not just that. It's about securing all the bags. And the real question is, well, did I secure my mental bag? Did I secure my physical, my health bag? Did I secure my emotional bag? And part of that evaluation of those questions was realizing just how fucked up, how empty, how messed up my mental bag, my physical and health bag, and my emotional bag was. And how I needed to secure it this time, how I needed to make sure that those three bags were also very heavy and full, that I could smell them and I could feel them, that I was carrying them just as much as I was carrying the bag, right? I didn't realize it until taking this opportunity. And this is definitely one of those Solita episodes where I wanted to come on here and knock on this mic real quick make sure that y'all heard me when I said that, because I think a lot of us, we tie in what's the next step, what's the next step to what those figures look like. And yes, don't get me wrong, like the person said, like that wise person said, money pays your bills, but what about everything else? I realize I never again want to be that person who hates going to work. I realize I never again want to be that person who cries in the mornings, dreads walking into that office, finds herself just so upside down in the world and just not fitting into that place anymore, and just sulking into this very deep depression. I never want to be that person again. I never want to struggle with that because my struggling days been over. Okay. So I definitely wanted to shine light on that. And I wanted to put that into perspective for you guys. I wanted to know from you guys and make you guys think for a second. Make it a prompt. How about that? Make this a prompt for you. Analyzing and reevaluating and evaluating where you are today and where you want to be. And what does securing all those bags look like to you? I mean, we always put at the forefront what money, because money does talk, right? And that's cool. But then so does everything else, starting with your body, baby. So we need to think about that. Now, I wanted to dive into another little concept that's been a little heavy on my mind lately, and I definitely want to be able to, just shine some light on it because, again, it's something that's been talked about all over. And this time, not just in other podcasting spaces, but also just like in shows. I mean, even in the shows that are being created today, we see so much of this sometimes. And the funny thing is, aha moments, I used to see this many years ago too. But it's this commentary, right? This continued discussion, right? About, and listen, it's mostly the men that be commenting, shade but shade, right? Um, this whole opinion shit of the criticism on a woman who strives for higher education and excelling in her career and being career driven and career motivated, right? And that being criticized as you're a woman who's too leveled up, you're a woman who's just so high up there, no one's gonna want you, right? And there's so much scrutiny on that, right? Specifically to the part where those type of women, which I do group myself in those type of women, and of course course, specifically to anyone who identifies as a woman, right? I am scrutinized for taking part in that group as one of the women who feels that she does not need a man, rather if I just want a man, right? And there's so much scrutiny on this. There's so much criticism, so much bullshit surrounding it. And the real reason I think this happens is because, and I'm going to pose this question to a lot of the men out there, right? And if you're a man or a woman who's listening to this and you happen to know someone who thinks like this or has, kind of agreed in a sense, please share this with them, right? But my question to these men who do see it from that lens, that no one's going to want you when you've made it to the top, or because you've made it to the top, because essentially what you are saying is that a woman is not supposed to make it that far up. My question is, who raised you? Did your mom or your grandma raise you? Did you not see them go to work? Or did you not think that their job was, did you think that their job was simply to just take care of you? And that was supposed to be their sole focus. And according to you, that was easy. Essentially, I doubt that they needed you, especially you being a young child, a boy, essentially. I mean, I'm stating facts. It's not me insulting anybody, right? But if they did raise you and they loved you enough to do it, I mean, isn't that great? Isn't that great if they loved you enough to sit there and raise you and make you their focus? Because not every child gets that opportunity to be nurtured by their mother, and in turn has to be nurtured by their grandmother. But there's still that missing piece, right? It's like, oh, mommy always had to go to work, right? A lot of the times when we see these type of scenarios, it's because they wanted to do it, right? Let me speak from experience, and no shade to my grandmother. May she rest in peace, right? I love her to death and I miss her every day, specifically talking to her because her voice just brought some comfort. But not all grandmas are there for you like that. Not all grandmas are able to do that much for you, right? And nowadays we also have moms who are not actually sticking around, right? So for me to be able to address this a little bit here, I wanted to shine light on what the difference is now that I am that much of a leveled up, career driven, educated woman, right? Who has made it to a goal, of hers, um, you know, uh, when it comes to securing the bag and all the other bags, but then also just for me, just for my success, right? When it comes to work, and when it comes to career, and when it comes to financial stability, right? So let me better explain this, right? At least for me personally, and if this brings some light to you, fantastic. And I would love to hear from the ladies if they feel the same. But to better explain the difference of me needing a man, because I do believe sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And at times it's both, okay? Both of them. I know why I do need a man. I just also know I don't need him to financially provide for me. I believe that is my responsibility. I believe I need to do that for myself. I know what I need for my home, which requires a man's presence and participation, as I know the things that I need for my home that I could do as well. I know how I need a man to show up, and that would require this man to also want to do and be there for me, right? So I know when the need comes into play. I'm just not going to present that to recruit a man. I also need to be able to do, if not all, plenty of this for myself. And in my case, as a single mother, I surely need to be able to do this for my child, who is, in fact, my responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. Because my presence and my existence in a perfect world and what I visualize to be this man, right? My presence and existence should be something this man needs and wants, and should not interfere with what he has been able to establish for himself. These days, so many men want the ability and option to have so much freedom, right? And a lot of that comes with that freedom is just so much criticism and opinions. And it all is just sounding too much like a one-way street. Now, this is not a male bashing episode. This is just me speaking from the voice as I identify as a woman. And I have just been able to hear commentary and conversations all throughout this thing we call life. And I just find it so comical that we are truly having these fucking conversations. I really do. Specifically to the fact of what it looks like to be a successful woman and how you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Okay. I do believe that if a man can be granted the ability and option to have certain freedoms or all the freedom in the world, then I would think, as a woman that I am and I identify, I should also be granted the ability and the option to do all things for myself and require a man's partnership where I need him and when I need him and want him. And I just needed to get that shit off my chest. Because now being in the space a little more leveled up. And this is not just about, a career. This is not just about, listen, we got women out there. Shout out to y'all who are getting 7 figures, 8-figure deals. Shout out to y'all, whether it's in your career, whether it's in different industries. But I just don't agree with any woman being criticized for that. I don't agree with any woman feeling or having anyone make a woman in that position feel like she's still not good enough. And I needed to be able to speak on this because as we continue to move the fuck on and as we continue to elevate and level the fuck up, we're going to be in spaces where these conversations are going to come up. And for some, it's going to be a very interesting conversation that will be embraced. And for some, it's going to be an interesting topic that they're going to run away from. And it needed to be said. And I needed to keep it all the way raw. So on that note, guys, it has been fantastic coming back on this mic. Phenomenal. Amazing. It's a little code switch. I've been practicing a little bit here because I can't be dropping F-bombs at the workplace. So yeah. But as always, it has been amazing to just get back on this microphone and be able to touch base with you guys and just fill you in on where shit is going and what's going on and whatnot. I'm trying my best to get back on this Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast vibe all over again. Believe you me, my passion is still here. I miss y'all. Did I say I miss y'all? Because I miss y'all. Let me say it one more time. I miss all of y'all. The ones all the way in the back, the newbies, the ones that are excited to see me and are tuning in to this Solita episode, which is super duper late. I'm so sorry. I love y'all and I miss y'all for the millionth time. But yeah, y'all, next week we're coming back again and we do have guests coming on, and I am just putting it in God's hands to grant me the continued abilities to be able to have structure and balance in my life so that I could kick ass when I clock in and kick ass when I clock the fuck out, even though I don't, but y'all get the picture. And when I get on this mic, more to come with my little creative projects that I'm working on. I promise to you guys, I promise to share, and I promise to meet those deadlines and those due days like I need to for all of y'all. I'm going to get a hold of my life. I thank y'all as always for the grace and the space to giving me just a little bit of time, but we will be back. And as always, guys, this has been another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I am your host, Misty, and you guys will tune in next week. Bye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and we are live on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Make sure to tell a friend to subscribe, rate, and review. Talk to you later. Bye.